Today's video is going to be a little bit different than most. It's going to be part educational, part motivational, and part therapy for me. It's because the topic is that posting on social media is like mental warfare. And here's what I mean is the main thesis behind it. Creator economy CEOs are someone who are betting their entire careers and maybe even their family's financial outcome on the creator economy. They know how important it is. They know that it's going to grow. And we do too, but they can't get themselves to post every day because we all know that posting every day and posting consistently is going to get you those rewards of the algorithm and also of your community because that's what they want. Like, if you follow someone, you want to hear from them as much as possible. Yet these big creator economy CEOs can't get themselves to do it. It's just crazy to me. These people have quit their jobs to start companies. These people have raised millions for their startup. Literally, like, put all the chips in on this creator economy and they can't get themselves to do it. And it just shows you how hard it is to put yourself out there and deal with the rejection. Because the reality is, I've posted probably over 700 times right now on LinkedIn as I'm writing this, even more on TikTok, even more on Instagram. I've probably posted over 2,000 times on social media. And I guarantee you, all my outcome on social media has been maybe 20 out of those 2,000 posts have driven me the most impact. My friend Sims, when I was doing viral LEDs, and made a couple $100,000 from this business. All the hundreds and thousands of TikToks we made together on the company account, our personal account, his personal account. All that money was probably made from 20 TikToks max out of at least 1,000. Your hit rate is literally less than 1%. It's the power law in action. I mean, the power law says that 10% of returns come from, or I don't even, the power law says that like 20% of your effort delivers 80% of the result, and 80% of the effort is the last 20%. Well, whatever it is, the reality is that not a lot of your content is going to give you a lot of the rewards. And that's really hard to deal with because you pour all your time and effort into something. I'm probably going to spend 8 hours scripting and writing this video and editing it and then sending it to Matt, seeing what he thinks, editing the thumbnail, sending it to Squilly. I mean, all these processes for it to get 20 views. But you just have to keep telling yourself that those 20 people, that you appreciate those 20 people. Because, like, think about it. If I went into a classroom and had 20 people tuning into what I said every day, that's really cool. You're pretty much a professor at that point. And anything above that is just gravy, but it's super hard to do. And I admire anyone who can stay consistent on social media. And YouTube is honestly a new thing for me. I've got a new camera, which is hopefully high quality. I'm checking the audio and everything level here, but it's tough. Posting on LinkedIn's easy because your your likes, all that is edited. But on YouTube, nah, I gotta either edit that out and really edit myself, which is kind of a weird thing to think about. And it really is like mental warfare because then you're thinking to yourself, oh, how do I want to project myself in front of the camera to my audience? What character do I want to play? Or can I just be myself? Or is myself a character? There's so many avenues you can go down, and why posting on social media is so mentally taxing on you. Because the reality is, you almost have to be crazy to do something for 7 years and getting no reward from it, and then eventually seeing maybe a reward. You just have to do what you love and hopefully deliver value. Because I think one of the reasons I'm so obsessed with making this content right now is because it's something I can see myself doing for a long time. Because sometimes in college, you're bouncing around between different ideas, between different clubs, different classes, figuring out your major. But content is something that will always be there. And it's also like mental warfare because you can literally post 100 times on social media, not get a result. And it's also never enough for Instagram. There's always going to be someone with more followers on you. And yeah, that's part life. But these algorithms really, they just want you to keep posting more and giving more to them. And it's like tough to know where to stop at one point. I just want to go back to the founder point though, because like these people are founders. They have time for what they want to have to. They own their day. Yet they can't make the time to create content. And it's crazy to me because that would not only be the ultimate hedge on their business and whatever tool they're trying to build, but it also would better their business to have someone who makes content. It would bring in more business for them. It would, during meetings, people would, maybe feel cooler in the presence of a celebrity and all this stuff. Yet these founders who are betting all their lives on their creator economy can't get themselves to post. And I think that just shows you how hard it is. In that, my real point of making this to you is that you're not alone in the struggle on social media to try to make it or try to make an impact or whatever your goal is for social media. the reality is it's going to be mentally taxing, because if the people at the top of their game and the top of this industry can't get themselves to post content daily, then it's going to be even harder for you to start to build up that momentum and really start to do it. I wrote down some other thought-provoking things I figured may be interesting to share, and a lot of this is just word salad. But like, yeah, there's a vulnerability hangover after sharing. You're like, should I have shared that? And then it didn't even get any views, or the imposter syndrome before posting, or the anxiety watching the engagement numbers. And yeah, that's all part of the game. It's all normal. It's tough. I'm honestly closing my computer. Like, the reality is, like, and I talk to people who think about posting on LinkedIn all the time and that are fans, and I'm so fortunate to try to motivate other people to post, because I really believe LinkedIn's the next TikTok. You're going to get a huge first mover advantage by moving early. All these things, like I did on TikTok, all the success I had is because of the first mover advantage, and because I had hundreds of times to fail before some people even joined the platform. And the same thing's happening for me on LinkedIn right now. The fact that I like literally had a summer to post 600 times and like build a startup with 10,000 users in 8 weeks just because of posting on LinkedIn. It's insane what you can do on LinkedIn. But as I'm coaching other people to try to get on LinkedIn, or not even really coaching, just talking to them, I've realized there's a real stigma against putting yourself out there a lot on LinkedIn. Like, when I have, some people I'm friends with that have a lot of clout, they have no problem posting something on their Instagram story, no problem making a TikTok. But when it comes to even liking a post on LinkedIn, they're self-conscious. And these are people at the top of the creator economy. It just shocks me every time I hear this, when people are so self-conscious, especially to post on LinkedIn. So for me, what's really helped is just telling myself that most of this is not going to go viral, and you never really know. Every time it's a roulette wheel. So you might as well try as many times as you can. And you're really crazy until it works. Like, yeah, people make fun of you for posting on LinkedIn, but like, you just got to stay locked in. Like, that's part of the game. Like, when I was posting on TikTok for viral LEDs, this is, I'm a junior in high school in Kentucky. This is not socially acceptable to be on TikTok. I'm getting all this like just cringe stuff thrown at me. And it's like, yeah, the videos are cringe, but I got to get through it. I'm going to get better. And then I ended up making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then everyone thought I was a genius. So you just got to keep going through the same thing on social media. And it's still crazy to me that these founders can't get themselves to post every day. It's mind-boggling, because they're betting their whole lives on the creator economy. Why wouldn't they want to? Now, the one counter argument that I will add is that not everyone wants to be famous, because there are a lot of downsides of being famous. Like, it's hard to get groceries when you're that level of famous, like Taylor Swift, to just have a fun night out with your friends. For most people, I don't think they'll ever, I mean, at least I'm telling myself, like, it's very hard to get that level of fame where you can't just get your groceries. I mean, maybe you should assume the best. I probably have a hard time doing that, but I'm not sure that'll ever happen. I don't know. This is where I said this was partially a therapy session. And I don't even know if I'm going to post this, but I really think as AI becomes more and more prevalent and all this stuff, having a personal brand is so important, because what better way to get hired from a job if you're posting about the industry and then you're like, these are my takes, and you're commenting on the hirer's LinkedIn post and you're like, this is an interesting thing. Have you seen this? Then you're looping in your other friends. Like, comments are 20% of my impressions on LinkedIn. It's LinkedIn, especially, something that's really interesting to me. And I'm having trouble looking at the camera, I think, because I'm so nervous about this right now. Like, LinkedIn literally suggests you to take 3 actions per week to post on the platform. And they count a post as an actual post or a comment, knowing that most people are going to do 0. I mean, I'm sometimes racking up 120 comments and 60 posts a week, which is definitely not normal, and you don't need to do it. But it's just crazy that the number is 3. That's why, like, when I'm doing 180, I'm getting so much more learning, so much more benefits than most other people on the platform that are at 0, because eventually it's going to become like TikTok, where everyone's snapping pictures of them TikToks before going out or before getting ready for an IPO on LinkedIn. Whatever it's going to be, the use cases of LinkedIn are going to expand. And that's really why I think it's going to be the next TikTok, because LinkedIn already has a huge base. Not enough people understand that 73% of the US is on LinkedIn. And that 73% of the US, that 200 whatever million people, that's only 20% of LinkedIn's user base. The rest of 80% of LinkedIn is across the world. There's a huge LinkedIn base in London, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of translation features that are built out. LinkedIn hasn't even figured out video. Videos are still tanking on the platform. It doesn't even look that new. LinkedIn is going to undergo so much positive growth. And I really think that the time is now to post on LinkedIn, because The only thing between, I mean, yeah, you can watch as many videos as you want on what to do, but the reality is the way you're going to learn the most is through actually posting. But to prove that it's so hard to post, these founders can't even post every day. And what they're posting might even just be reposts of the company. So to get yourself to put yourself out there, it's extremely mentally taxing. And I wish I had a better advice for this than just to try to get over it. And that's what I've tried to done. Maybe that's not the best option. I might say, yeah, I like try to run or whatever. I mean, obviously I'm not in like the best shape I could be. Yeah, just sometimes it's good to think about the opportunity. Sometimes it's good to think about the impact you're having. Sometimes it's good to think about your learning. You just got to figure out what works well for you after talking to a lot of people. And people are so self-conscious to post on LinkedIn. That means though, like the ones that ride with you, like if you're promoting your friends on LinkedIn too, like that's hype. That's cool. Like you want to like, if you put yourself out there, you want people to comment and hype up your stuff. And like, if you can do that to someone else, that's such a cool thing to do, especially when someone's starting out and 90 of these posts are just going to go right into the void and not be seen by practically anyone. Where are we at on time? I mean, 13. So I don't know. Overall, I think the point of this video is to be that social media is like mental warfare. And it's really important to know that going in, because it's really hard to put yourself out there and know that most of these posts are going to flop, because it's one thing to say it and it's one thing to post over 1,000 times and have most of them flop, but you just got to keep doing it. And I think the proof of this is that if the founders of these top creator economies can't post every day, it shows you how hard it is. So stay through it. Feel free to shoot me a message on LinkedIn at Daniel Greenberg, and let's get through this together and make some value on LinkedIn. Peace.